Hello everyone, I am Bfdi and welcome to a very unscripted video about my concept of a Bfdi Season 6 from way back in 2021. So I figured to make this video because we now know what Season 6 is, and that is Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere, which, by the way, I am loving. I figured to just talk a little bit about what I thought they were going to do for a Season 6, because there was a lot of hinting at Season 6 even back when the voting for Bfdi, the winner, was happening. Kerry teased it a little bit, saying that if they got into 6 digits for voting, like over 100,000 votes, then they would confirm a Season 6, but that didn't happen, and Kerry said that that was Teapot's legacy to break, which they did eventually. Because Bfdi didn't get over 6 digits with their final votes, it wasn't confirmed what they were going to do with Season 6, so my 15-year-old self was like, hey guys, I have an idea. So, on the fateful day of February 22nd, 2021, I posted this on my Instagram account. Basically, it did a little deep dive into what I thought they would do for a Season 6 of Bfdi. It was kind of mainly centered around the Bfdi cast, for the most part, for really both of the ideas I had, but the more fleshed out idea I had, which was another competition season, was again centrally focused around the Bfdi characters and also some new characters as well. So there was 2 main ideas that I had for a Season 6, one of which was being a non-competition style, and then the other one was a competition style. The non-competition style was kind of like what they wanted to do, or were probably going to do in IDFB, which was just like slice of life stuff, you know, your city, you know, whatever they do in the desert, or, you know, how does Blocky pull off a prank, or what happens in the steakhouse or the fashion store, you know, things like that. That's mainly what the IDFB inspired season would look like. Meanwhile, the competition season would be basically every other season, where it's just another battle. I'll explain the prize in a bit. Before I get into the deep details of the competition side, which was the more planned out version that I had in my head, I would like to say that when this was planned in 2021, this was before Teapot became a more frequent thing, like before it became a more frequent release like Bfdi was, and this was also before Bfdi got put into production again. So my idea was that this season would run at the same time as Teapot, so, you know, it could fill in gaps between Teapot episodes. With the IDFB style season idea, it was going to also dive into things that have been looked at in Teapot, like the Free Smart Alliance conflict that happened in Bfdi, and that was going to be resolved in Season 6, but obviously that got resolved in Teapot. It got resolved by Ruby, Bubble, and Match, so kind of got thrown out of the window anyway, but you know. The competition version of this season follows the Bfdi contestants, the recommended characters that popped up in Bfdi, like Rusty Coin, Profiley, and Steamy, and it also follows some recommended characters, new recommended characters that join into the show. And then also, this was before the episode where the Exit gang are leaving the Exit, so the idea was that basically they would leave the Exit upon 4 letting them leave, on the condition that they take part in Season 6. But yeah, as we now know, the Exiters took part in Teapot. Some of them did, and then other guys, you know, they show up in Teapot, but they're not competing, if that makes sense. There was going to be 4 hosts for this season, so 4X, the announcer, and Purpleface, as per the little frame that we saw at the end of Bfdi 30, I believe, where, you know, they're at the whiteboard and they're like, new season? Yeah. The thing that they're competing for in the competition season is the Bfdi again. So the season is called Bfdi, Battle for Bfdi again. Kind of like what they did for Battle for Dream Island again, Bfdi. Let's take a little look at the exact contestants that will be in Bfdi. The returning contestants from previous seasons include Pencil, Match, Balloony, Loser, Lie, Stapy, Spongy, 8-Ball, Bracelety, Blocky, Woody, Lollipop, Gelatin, Taco, Ruby, Flower, Fiery Jr., and Bubble. So those are the Bfdi cast, and also the Exiters, which is technically also a part of the Bfdi cast, but, you know, semantics. And then we also have the Bfdi recommended characters crew, which is Profiley, Rusty Coin, and Steamy. They appeared in post-split Bfdi episodes, but yeah, I think it would have been a good idea to bring Profiley, Rusty Coin, and Steamy back into the series because they got voices in the season. I think it would be a good idea to bring them back for a Season 6. What was a Season 6? That's what I thought. Yeah. And the other recommended characters that were not very influential on the show that are joining this 6th season are Cake Pop, Runner-Up, Marimo Ball, and Lip Gloss. So in total, there is 7 recommended characters and then 18 returning contestants. For some weird reason, I don't remember why, I made Flower and Gelatin have like some like little fun accessories, like Flower's sweater, and Gelatin has a headband, which is essentially made by Flower anyway. Same pattern design kind of thing. I don't know why I did that. I just thought it was cool. I don't think they would actually do that in a BFDI season. But, you know, I was 15. What do you guys want? There was going to be 5 teams in the season as well. I don't have names for the teams except for 1. So I'll just name the first 4 as Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, and 4. And then the other one I'll name with the actual name it had. Team 1 consisted of Match, Pencil, Balloony, Runner-Up, and Loser. Team 2 had Lie, Stapy, Spongy, 8-Ball, and Bracelety. Team 3 had Profiley, Blocky, Rusty Coin, Woody, and Steamy. Team 4 had Taco, Ruby, Flower, Fiery Jr., and Bubble. And then the other team that actually had a name was the Newbie Alliance again. Question mark at the end. The Newbie Alliance again had Gelatin, Lollipop, Marimo Ball, Lip Gloss, and Cake Pop. There was a little bit of interactions I had planned. I'll just give you a few now. So essentially the whole join the show situation was like kind of like this. Enjoy my really bad impressions. Battle for BFDI again. No for maybe next time. Battle for BFDI again. No announcer.
I want to cry now. I really do.
Okay, announcer. Yay. Okay, with the 4 scenario, it would have been just 1 year after the steakhouse / fashion store had opened up. There was going to be like a fun event where, you know, they've got like an open mic thing, I don't know, where like everyone's performing or a block is pulling pranks or something, I don't know. And then 4 is like an unwelcomed guest, like they invited 4, but 4 didn't say yes. But 4 rocked up anyway. 4's like, excuse me, can everyone who competed in BFB please make their way over to that table? And then, you know, everyone who was in BFB joined the table. And then 4's like, join my show. No. Okay. And then in the other version I had, it was, I think, announcer showing up at the doors. You know, they're locking up for the night. And then announcer's just standing there menacingly. And he's like, join my season. Okay. And then, like, I had a couple of ideas for, like, how they would be before the season started. So, like, you know, they're all kind of, it was a bit slice of life, you know. At the start of the episode, it'd be like, you know, working at the steakhouse, working at the fashion store. Block is pulling pranks. But yeah, majority of the cast was actually working at the steakhouse and the fashion store, and then like some of them were at the station in the desert, and then I don't know where Teardrop was. Teardrop was somewhere. She was trying to make her comic book get published, and Teardrop is a New York Times bestseller book author, so take that as you will. No, I'm joking. That was not actually what I planned to do. That was just me saying shit. But I had a couple of like interactions planned, mainly with the Newbie Alliance again, and also with Loser's team. So I don't think this would happen in BFDI, but I think I wrote it as Runner-Up being Loser's sister. Yeah, and she was just a bit like jealous of Loser and things like that, and Balloony kind of like saw that Runner-Up was getting a little pissed off at Loser. That was like a lore thing that I thought would be a fun thing to explore in season 6, but again, didn't happen. And then the other thing I had was Lollipop and Cake Pop having a little bit of a rivalry. You know, there's 2 Pops in the show. What are we gonna do? You know, and like Lollipop's like, I'm the OG Lollipop, I'm the boss around here. And then Cake Pop just freaking loses it at Lollipop. And Lollipop, you know how she is, but she actually got scared, which is really out of character. She got like taken aback. She's like, wait a minute, holy crap, she's kind of scary. Cake Pop is kind of scary. I had this inspiration in my head for some reason that like Cake Pop was like a colonel or like a soldier person, like a really high up military role, and like specifically, she's like, are we gonna have a problem here, Miss Lollipop? And then Lollipop's like, no, ma'am. Good. You know, not me dubbing my old comics. And then the final thing I had was like a little kind of idea where it's like, when they're naming the teams, they're looking to Gelatin for assistance with the naming of the teams, because Gelatin was the runner-up of season 4. And they're like, well, Gelatin should know because he's the runner-up. He got so far, he should know how to name the team. And then, you know, he's kind of sitting there cooking the idea for a little bit. The new newbies, the actual newbies of season 6 are kind of questioning what he's like thinking. Like, has he actually got a brain or what's happening here? And then like he's there thinking, and then eventually the Newbie Alliance again, because he was like, wait a minute, I already have a Newbie Alliance, what do I do? And then, you know, Newbie Alliance again. So basically that was what I had in mind for a season 6 of BFDI way back in 2021. Again, as we now know, we have BFDIE Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere, which features a whole new cast of characters, which I am in love with. And I love this idea and I love it so much. Bit questionable to make it season 6, but I think they have plans in their head on how they can incorporate that and stuff. So I'm putting my faith in Jack and Jellyfy for this one. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed hearing what I had to say about my 15-year-old self's random ideas for season 6. If you enjoyed this video and my random ramble, I make much better stuff. I promise you I make much better stuff. If you enjoyed it that much, please consider sticking around and subscribing. I do actually do a lot of Object Show stuff. I've been in the Object Show community since 2020. I dipped for a little bit, not gonna lie, but I came back recently and I'm very interested again. So, you know, I've got Object Shows in the works. I also, if you're interested, I've got Sonic stuff, I've got Minecraft stuff. Again, if you're mainly just interested in the OC stuff, just maybe consider sticking around because I do much better, well-scripted things compared to this. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for watching. Toodles! Maybe let's just do the BFBA thing. Let's wing it. Look at this again. This is why I don't do things without scripting. Okay. Upon 4's allowing, I don't know if that's the right word. Fiery Jr. and Balloon. No, Bubble. And that consisted of Gelatin, Lollipop. Where's Teardrop? I just realized Teardrop's not here. Oh, hello everyone. That's because she went on her way to do stuff. She left. She went to Teapot. I manifested it. Okay. I had like this inspired whoa.